Chapter 1 Unit 1 Analysis Dear Bloom Cookie Customers, with our lease coming to an end, we finally made the decision. While we've loved our time on 125th Street, our business has changed a lot in the last few years, and we realized we wanted a location with more baking space that would better serve the community we live in. We're so excited to announce we'll be moving to a new spot on 50th Street. We will continue to offer the same delicious cookies and coffee at our new location. While it feels scary to move away from our current location, we're confident that this move will allow us to enhance our service to you. Thank you for your continued support, and we look forward to welcoming you to our new home. Warm regards, Becky Bloom. Practice 1. Dear valued players, recently, we at Silver Lining Studio discovered that 2 songs in our Behind the Frame game soundtrack might have been used without permission from their creators, thus violating the rights of others' works. We extend our deepest apologies for this matter and sincerely regret any harm or disappointment this may have caused to the original composers and all of you who play our game. We understand the importance of respecting intellectual property rights and taking immediate steps to address this issue. The songs have been promptly removed from the game and related videos, and we promise to make sure this doesn't happen again. Once again, we extend our sincerest apologies for this matter. Thank you for your patience and continued support. Sincerely, Silver Lining Studio. Practice 2. Dear Mr. Lewis, we trust this message finds you in good spirits. We want to express our heartfelt gratitude for choosing the Joyful Piano app and for starting this musical journey with us. As your free trial period draws to a close, we want to ensure you have all the necessary details before it concludes. Your free access to Joyful Piano will expire in just 5 days. Following this, access to our app will be limited unless you choose to subscribe to one of our premium plans. We sincerely hope you've enjoyed exploring its features during your trial period. Should you have any questions or require further assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at www.joyfulpianoapp.com. We're here to support you every step of the way. Thank you once again for choosing Joyful Piano. Sincerely, Rachel Garcia, Customer Support Manager. Practice 3. Dear valued customer, we at May Summer Online Clothing Store thank you for choosing our new fall sweater. We are truly grateful for your purchase and overwhelmed by the popularity of our latest collection. However, we also deeply regret any disappointment you may feel due to the color difference between the clothes displayed on our website, dark red, and the actual product, bright scarlet. We understand the disappointment this may have caused upon delivery. Your satisfaction is our priority, and we are committed to making things right. Please provide your address and preferred pickup date on our website, and we will promptly arrange for the return of the item and process your refund accordingly. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this has caused and assure you that we are taking steps to ensure accurate representation of our products in the future. Unit 2 Analysis. Fiona woke up with the worst cough, a sore throat, and a headache. She had to take time off work, but she knew that taking off today would mean facing a ton of paperwork on her desk tomorrow. Just thinking about it made her headache even worse. Then the doorbell rang. It was Chandra, her colleague. "No worries, Fiona. I took care of the phone calls and messages, and I even told everyone to think twice before putting any paper on your desk," Chandra said. Surprised, Fiona stared blankly at Chandra. "Here's some chicken noodle soup," Chandra said as she passed Fiona the brown bag she was carrying. "And I bought throat spray and cough drops for you." Fiona wanted to say thanks, but her sore throat held her back. However, Chandra knew exactly what she wanted to say. "No problem, Fiona. I've got your back." Practice 1. When I saw Mr. Greer talking to my father in front of our house, my heart sank. He must be here for one of the puppies. My family lived in a very small town, and my best and only friends were our dogs, Blackie and her 2 newborn puppies. My father had mentioned that we couldn't afford to keep them all and should find them new homes. I dashed toward the house to stop my father, but I overheard him saying, "You don't quite catch my meaning, Mr. Greer. I'm not asking for a higher price for this puppy." Mr. Greer frowned in perplexity. My father continued, "I'm saying there isn't any price on him because he belongs to my son. We are keeping both of them." I just stood there and I tried to understand what he said. When my eyes met his eyes, he simply grinned, and I did the same. Practice 2. Sarah approached the old, falling-apart house. Her heart was pounding in her chest as she imagined all the horrors that could be hiding in its dark hallways. Sarah took a deep breath, paused for a moment, then gathered her courage to push open the squeaky door and enter the mysterious house. As she stepped inside and felt the warmth of sunlight filtering through the dusty windows, a sense of wonder and interest washed over her. The squeaky floors under her feet didn't seem to whisper tales of ghosts. Instead, they sang a song of history and forgotten memories. With each step, Sarah's initial fear melted away, revealing an unstoppable desire to uncover the secrets hidden within the walls of this old house. Practice 3. The wagons full of young friends started arriving. Everyone in and around the neighborhood knew the Jensen family and was pleased to have been invited. Katie and Dolly were perfect hosts, welcoming each guest. When everyone had arrived, they gathered in the kitchen for the taffy making. Katie mixed all the ingredients for the taffy candy, while the young men carried in wood for the old cook stove. She placed the ingredients in the huge iron frying pans, and soon the delicious smell of candy floated throughout the house. There was a glass of cold water for testing the doneness of the candy. If the candy formed a soft ball when dropped in the glass of water, it was time to take it out of the frying pans and start beating it with a wooden spoon. When the candy finally formed the perfect ball, cheers of excitement and joy echoed through the kitchen. Unit 3. Analysis. The concept of justice is not the law in the narrow sense. Rather, this principle involves ensuring that everyone benefits from treatment as well as the distribution of access to it. To apply this principle, we need to accept and value differences and diversity in our patients. Patients come from different cultural, racial, and religious backgrounds. Therefore, fairness and justice in this respect involves respecting and recognizing their difference, not acting in a way that disadvantages the patient. In this regard, we need to consider other people's cultural differences when treating them. Importantly, justice is about advocating on behalf of all patients, whether they come in with a Western philosophical perspective or another philosophical perspective. Justice is not about treating all patients the same because it is not possible to justifiably treat all patients the same, since all patients are different and present with different ailments or complaints. Practice 1. Why have cities only recently seen a sudden increase in greening, from green roofs to new parks to tree planting to more energy-efficient buses, despite the fact that sweeping federal environmental legislation was enacted more than 30 years ago? Quite simply, city leaders are recognizing that a cleaner environment is needed both to provide residents with a good quality of life and to compete in the global economy. America's manufacturing-based economy of the 20th century has been transformed into a service-based knowledge economy. For the information age economy, environmental quality is a major economic asset. Skilled workers are increasingly footloose, able to settle just about anywhere there is broadband internet access, and they are drawn to healthy, aesthetically pleasing environments. Moreover, green cities are demonstrating that the alleged trade-off between jobs and the environment is a false dichotomy. A quality environment produces jobs. A polluted environment costs jobs. Practice 2. The brevity of memos can be wonderful, but you do need to make sure you communicate everything, or you'll just end up creating more work for yourself. For example, if you're using a memo to take a telephone message, make sure you include who called and when, what their message was, and how to call them back. If you forget any of these details, your memo will be practically pointless. As you can see, it's very important not to sacrifice the content of your memo simply because memos are normally brief. If you can't fit all the information you need into a memo, opt instead to write a letter or an email. It's better to include all of the information you need to transmit than it is to omit critical details simply for the sake of making your message short. Practice 3. It is relatively uncontroversial that there are small structural and functional differences between male and female brains, perhaps contributing to some performance differences on tests of spatial and verbal abilities. Of paramount importance, but usually overlooked, is that similarities between the sexes far outweigh differences. Differences between men and women are not as large as differences among members of the same sex. Even those scientists who have discovered functional performance differences between the brains of males and females are careful to point out that their research is tentative and suggestive, and that while their research attends to differences, similarities abound. Fundamentally, the brains of men and women are more similar than different.